Weeks after scary mishap, Soyuz rocket to launch space flyers to space station. A pair of astronauts and a cosmonaut will launch to the International Space Station on Monday, blasting off aboard a Russian Soyuz rocket less than 2 months after two other space flyers had too. NASA astronaut Anne McClain, Canadian astronaut David Saint-Jacques and Russian cosmonaut Oleg Kononenko are set to launch from the Baikonur Cosmodrome in Kazakhstan at 6:31 a.m. EST on Monday. Beginning at 5:30 a.m. EST, followed by live coverage at 11:45 a.m. of the Soyuz capsule as it docks with the space station. This will be the first crewed Soyuz launch since October 11, when NASA astronaut Nick Hague and Russian cosmonaut Alexei Ovchinin. Hague and Ovchinin returned safely to Earth, but the failure of their rocket means Monday's launch will face additional scrutiny. Anytime you launch people, it's a high-stakes operation, said space policy expert John Logsdon, Professor Emeritus of Political Science and International Affairs at George Washington University in Washington, D.C. I don't think the risk is any higher in this launch than any previous one. But the world will be watching. A month-long investigation by Russia's space agency, Roscosmos, that prevented the booster's second stage from separating from the first stage, Reuters reported. The sensor was likely damaged during assembly of the rocket, the investigation found. I'm sure that this investigation and fix was done on an accelerated schedule, but everybody involved realizes what the stakes are, and they're not going to take shortcuts, Logsdon said. Following the investigation, which was conducted jointly with NASA, the Soyuz rockets were cleared for flight. On November 18, a Soyuz booster successfully launched a robotic cargo ship to the space station. In advance of what will be her first spaceflight, McClain expressed confidence in the Russian-built hardware. The bottom line is that, she told ABC News, "I know that a lot of people see that as a failure, it's often called that, but inside this community, where we mitigate risk professionally every single day, that was a success story." Since the retirement of the space shuttles in 2011, NASA and other space agencies have relied on the Soyuz to get crews to and from the space station. To ferry NASA astronauts to and from the orbiting outpost, but the companies aren't scheduled to conduct crewed test flight until 2019. Until then, the Soyuz is NASA's only option. Follow NBC News Macon, and